Welcome to another episode of Did Eileen Really Need That Art Supply? No, she did not. Did she really want it? Yes. Did she use the excuse that it was her birthday and she might not get a birthday present from anyone else? Yeah, she did. So, stop talking about myself in the third person. This is a little treat from Jackson's that I would say Canada Post had something to do with the kicking of it to pieces. So let's get this open and hopefully everything's intact. And I just noticed on Jackson's website, I was going to get a couple of pastel pencils when they have their Caran d'Ache sale on. And I noticed you can't get non-tracked post anymore, which was a lot cheaper. And so I didn't bother getting the pencils because it was only tracked post only, and it was going to be $7 to send a few pencils. So, ooh. Alright, so that made it. There's a little bit of a hole in the box, so I was afraid that may have got loose. But luckily they packed them, Gallo packs them in little sleeves with little swatch cards, so it did not escape. Now Jackson's pretty good about packaging. Luckily they have these peanuts and they're biodegradable. So if you put them in water, they'll just, it's fun to watch. So that's it. Two things. Yes, this is the retro Schmincke tin that they were promoting just recently. Went up, and I'm a sucker for Art Deco sort of things, so that's what I got. Ta-da! It is a very cute little palette with old labels on them, but not old paint. I think some of the paint are colors that they would have had originally, but we'll go through that. But isn't it gorgeous? And I love the wells. Just really nice. Of course it has the thumb ring that I really never use, but it's really nice. I've been looking at these little travel palettes. They had some at Gortzman's. They're made by Filme, and a couple other brands make them. And it's just nice. This one's really lightweight though, compared to some of the ones that I looked at before. And then the only other thing that I added was the Roman Black Earth to add to my Gallo collection. So that's that. I am going to start taking them out, but first, photos. So just wanted to do a little photo of it before I start taking apart. It's the card that came in with it, and in German, English is right here. Thank you for being part of our history. And then there is the little swatch card to go with it. They'll tuck in there if you want it to. And so these pop out. So that you can get your pens out. Or do they? I'm having trouble with this. Here. It's hard to do it when you're on camera. You want to be as smooth and elegant, but can't always be. I certainly can't. It doesn't matter if I'm on camera or not. So let's see what colors we have. There is Chromium Yellow Hue Lemon. It's got 3 stars for light fastness. And there's opacity, staining. I'm just looking for, oh, there it is. So it's PY175. That's the pigment. And then we have Vermilion, and it's PR255, 4 stars. Ultramarine Finest is PB29. And Viridian, my least favorite green, is PG18. And then Yellow Raw Ochre is PY42 and PY43. Raw Umber is PY43. English Venetian Red is PR101. No surprise there. And then a Payne's Gray, which is combination of PR101, PB29, and PBK7. Sorry about that. I ran out of storage on my phone, so that's why I had to cut away so abruptly. But I'm just going over the Schmincke paints that I already have, and these are the only 3 that I have. I do have a Yellow Raw Ochre. Is it ochre? It is, yeah, Yellow Ochre, but it's a different formulation. So this is probably what they previously had. Just zoom in a little bit. I do have the English Venetian Red. It is the same pigment, same with the Ultramarine Finest, and the Schmincke Payne's Gray. Now the Payne's Gray is a little bit different. Probably a lot of people are used to Payne's Gray being a little bit blue. This one is definitely gray, and so there is a Payne's Gray blue available, and so I didn't realize that in the second time around I bought the Payne's Gray blue. So I'm going to keep this aside, and we'll unwrap these and swatch them out and see what they're like. I know the Schmincke brand is fantastic, so I have like no reason to think that these are not top-notch. They're just using a little bit of the older pigments, but not old as in they've been sitting around for 100 years. It's just the formulation that they would have used before has changed. So let's get them unwrapped, starting with, I try to be careful with the wrapping because I do keep it and put it in a little binder that I have with all my swatches. And as usual, if you've been to my YouTube channel before, you know that when I swatch things out, I do a high-res PDF of the swatch sheets, and I put it up on my website for you to use at no cost. So the pans are a little bit different as you get out my set, which is right here. It's something that, it's really the set that I use the most, is the Schmincke. Sometimes I change things up and start using other palettes that I have, but mostly I keep to the same. So I guess it's not. It's just a little bit like thicker walled plastic. So it's not too different. So we have that. And I'll just keep unwrapping these. And it has the Schmincke's name, the brand stamped into it, which is nice when you have a mixed palette so that you know what you're dealing with. You don't have to write on it. And it also has the number, I believe. 14365. There's 14. Oh, there's the number is stamped on it. So if you have their charts, and you can order charts or download charts from different companies, and that way you'll be able to identify what you have, because that happened to me. I had a mixed palette for the longest time, and then when it came to organize it, I didn't know what I had. Back a long time ago. So this is a Viridian. Keep with this side of things, the primaries. And that's what you have, is the blue, yellow, and red. That's kind of a warmer, almost neutrally red. There's the blue. It's kind of sunk a bit into the pan, but I know what that feels like, because some of the ones that I make do that too. And Schmincke pours them in layers, not all in one go, to, like I do, so that it doesn't do that. You get as much in as possible. And that's the yellow ochre. Raw umber. English Venetian red. And there's a bit of crackling on that one, but that's perfectly fine. Pigments are all different, so they dry in totally different ways. And that's the Payne's Gray. So there we go. And it looks like they suggest adding to your palette. I'm not sure how they wouldn't fit in there. So I'm not sure how you would do that. But let's get a bigger sheet and swatch on that. So I'm just using this Fabriano paper. It's not the best paper, but it's not the worst. And just give them a little spray as they've been slumbering away. And get a nice brush. And maybe I will put them back in their palettes so that they're not moving about quite so much. This just slips. Slips in like that. There we go. Oh, that's dirty already. Let's start nice and clean. So this is the lemon yellow. Nice, somewhat coolish yellow, but not as cool as their other lemon yellow. It's more neutral. And then we have the vermilion. It's a nice, lovely warmish red. Meridian. I know I harp on about greens, but I prefer my greens to be a little bit more natural than this, but you can obviously mix it, tone it down, either adding a little bit of red or even some of the English Venetian red. Oops. And yellow ochre. So on my website, I'll have these as something under the Schmincke brand, but as a separate download. These are very, very similar to each other. Just a touch browner. Trying to get a mass color so you can see it. And as you see, this is almost like a black. No, it's Payne's Gray. The first time I swatched it, I was kind of surprised that it was so close to black rather than a blue tint to it. But you can see it's really granulating there. And Schmincke is known for their granulating paints. They have different mixtures. They're super granulating. So just let that dry a little bit and put that aside for now. The other thing that I got was this Gallo Roman Black Earth. It's PBK 11. I know a lot of watercolors don't have black in their palettes, but I do like black. And just scooch it out. There we go. And they write the pigment number on the side of theirs. And since there's kind of black there anyways, might as well swatch it on here. That's nice granulating black. I thought it'd be something a little bit different from the usual blacks. And then while we're here, waiting for things to dry, I'm just going to do a couple mixes with that Viridian. Might as well mix in the well. And try that. It's nicer, more natural green. Try a little bit of the red. It's the same color. Into Payne's Gray. Try it with a little bit of, oops, it's okay. Just want to give it a little bit more of a yellowish tone because it's so blue. And that's really granulating a lot there. And that's with the Venetian red. Some nice mixes. And I got to use the mixing wells. I love these little, I love that they're indented like that. Gives you a little bit more room to play in. So we're kind of coming up to dry for these. Obviously I'll wait for them to dry before I scan them, but you'll see them scanned and be able to judge better than in a video. So there's my birthday gift to myself. So you'll see another birthday art haul because my husband did ask what I wanted for my birthday. So I am going on a trip at the end of the month and I want to bring some gouache with me, but I'll explain that all in the video. Just look for the birthday haul video featuring Mijello Titanium gouache paints. So that's it for now. That is the little retro palette. That is very, very sweet. And one lone a Gallo to add to my collection. So that's January 2024. Starting well, so let's hope that continues. Okay, I hope that's for everyone. Thanks so much. Bye.